Hi guys. So the Oppo N5 has been released. All embargoes on it have been obviously taken off, so the reviews are popping up everywhere. So let's react to MKBHDs. Let's go.
All right, so I've been following and reviewing and defending foldable smartphones for a while now, basically since day one. I think they're sick. But I do have a question, and it was mostly inspired by this thing. This is the new thinnest foldable in the world. It's
Okay, so big shout out to the Oppos of the world, to the Huawei's of the world. Like these guys are breaking boundaries. These guys are doing innovative stuffs like they are making technology, they are making gadgets, they are making them interesting. And you can see right there the Oppo N5. I think this is just as thick as the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So it's a very, very good time for the worlds of foldables right now. So let's continue.
it's the Oppo Find N5. The double embargo is a bit of a red flag, but now that it's out, I can tell you that this phone is incredible from top to bottom on paper. It is a
Yeah.
flagship, so Snapdragon 8 Elite, half a terabyte of storage, 16 gigs of RAM, a 50 megapixel primary camera.
Okay, so one more thing to note is that Oppo, OnePlus, Vivo, Realme are all under the same parent company. I think that's BBK. I think BBK Mobile, BBK Tech, or something. They're all under the same company. So big shout out to them. Like they're doing fantastic. They're doing great. So one thing I noticed is that they are not talking about the OS that much. So apart from OnePlus, I think all Oppo phones come with Color OS. So I don't know this brand of Color OS. Maybe it's meant for international market because I know Color OS is usually used in China, but this we've got MKBHD reviewing, Mr. Who's the Boss reviewing, a lot of tech. I saw was it Mark Wahlberg? I've forgotten his name. Posted on Twitter. I think he's had the device for quite a while. Also, they're also reviewing, but nobody's talking about the OS on it. But I believe it should be Color OS. And note, Color OS is a China-based ROM, but it works perfectly well. But since they are doing it, I think they'll be working something out though.
Plus an ultra wide and a telephoto, and somehow a combined 5,600 milliamp hours of battery, despite being so ridiculously thin. And
So, about the battery life, definitely it should be a good battery life. So, with the new nanotech technology out there, like you're now getting bigger batteries inside smaller spaces, like because of the new technology. So, I don't expect anything less.
it's really the hardware and the build, this form factor, is where it shines. So I remember when these phones first started coming out, the phones that were folding in half again. And I remember saying that basically for them to catch on, they have to be so good and so polished that it basically feels like a regular phone.
Okay, so one thing MKBHD is saying is that some years back he used to list some few criterias for why a smartphone should be deemed a good smartphone. One thing I just understand is that this day and time, if your phone is not practically having a good battery, having a good software, having good cameras, having top-notch display, you're intentionally doing it. Like you're intentionally doing it. Thank God for the Chinese OEMs. Like they're breaking borders. If it were to be left to the guys in the West, man, man, we are in deep soup. We're in deep soup. Let's continue.
That happens to unfold into a tablet. That would be the goal. And the first ones back then were nowhere near that. You remember the crazy bezels and the candy bar shapes. They didn't feel anything like.
Okay, without going too much into the video, just simply to rant. One thing is that, like I said earlier, the parent company of Oppo also owns OnePlus. I've been asking, why isn't there gonna be a OnePlus Fold 2? This is the reason why there isn't gonna be one. Normally, we used to have the Oppo Find series and the OnePlus Open, but this year, OnePlus said they are not coming out with a new device. Probably they want to release this in the US and let everybody have a grab at it. Compare the Samsung Fold to this. Yeah, like just compare. I think the Pixel Fold, like, yeah, doing fine. Ah, it's just so crazy. But I think this is the first time I'll be considering using um a tablet. Sorry, using a foldable phone, because to me this is the perfect foldable phone. And yes, I can say this is the perfect foldable phone. I just hope it's not going to cost a arm and a leg, because most of them are not talking about the price. They're just talking about the fantastic camera, fantastic build. It has no crease. It has this. Yes, everything is fine, but at the end of the day, it comes to your cheddar you get. So this is a very fantastic phone. I hope and pray other OEMs will do something better. I hope and pray other OEMs will do something better. And anybody who says, oh, Samsung this, Samsung that, they clearly know what they're doing, because the latest Samsung Fold has two versions. The one that was released in the US and the one that was released in China. There are a lot of videos of the one released in China. You can look at them side by side and tell. You can look at them and tell. And one thing I want everybody to always notice, that ask yourself this question. Let's assume Huawei was still in the US market by now. It's going to be a lot of fun. Forget about competition. It's just going to be a lot of fun. And once again, shout out to these Chinese companies for innovating, for breaking boundaries. The other day, Huawei came out. Uh, yeah, Huawei, they came out with the triple folding phone, like very very fantastic. So guys, go check out MKBHD's video to get a full gist of it. Too tired, man, too tired. But we'll see once again. Have a lovely one.